And yeah, we combined our strength with muscle endurance, also with a little bit of cardio work. Always end off or do some cardio intervals in between rounds of strength.
Dricus Du Plessis has just shocked fans with his new training camp footage ahead of his clash with Khamzat Chimaev. On the other hand, Joe Rogan recently praised Khamzat Chimaev's wrestling, highlighting his ability to close distance incredibly fast, covering nearly 15 feet and still managing to grab his opponent's leg. He mentioned that fighting at 185 pounds should benefit Chimaev's endurance since he's no longer drained by cutting to welterweight, and Rogan believes that middleweight may be Chimaev's ideal weight class.
Khamzat just shoots from like 15 feet away and gets a hold of your leg. But I look at and you got to think his endurance is probably going to be better at 85 than it was at 70 because of the cut. For Khamzat, it's like 85 is really where he should have been all along.
Additionally, Rogan gave credit to Dricus Du Plessis, describing him as a tough, physically strong competitor with solid grappling skills, effective submission techniques, and powerful striking. Still, Rogan expressed doubt about whether Du Plessis can handle Chimaev's relentless wrestling pace, noting that Chimaev's grappling prowess appears to be on a level above the rest of the division.
He can wrestle, he's got very good jiu-jitsu, he hits hard, and he's a big, durable dude. But I don't know if he's going to be able to wrestle with that guy. Like, I don't know, man. The Khamzat's skill is so high level, it makes me wonder.
Moreover, Mateusz Gamrot called the Chimaev versus Du Plessis matchup interesting. He praised Chimaev's elite wrestling and strength, and said he likes Du Plessis, having met him a few times. While unsure of the outcome, Gamrot doesn't think Du Plessis can stop Chimaev's wrestling and ultimately leans toward Chimaev winning.
Oh, this is interesting matchup. Chimaev is really high-level wrestler and he is strong. I like Dricus. He meet a couple times. It's hard to prediction, but I don't think so that Dricus will stop wrestling Chimaev. And I think maybe Chimaev will beat this guy.
However, Dricus Du Plessis is undergoing a focused, high-intensity training camp ahead of his fight with Khamzat Chimaev. He's brought in top-level wrestlers to prepare for Chimaev's aggressive takedown style, and is drilling non-stop on takedown defense, scrambles, and clinch work. Du Plessis is also sharpening his striking under pressure, aiming to capitalize on openings during Chimaev's forward bursts. Cardio and endurance are key focuses, with Du Plessis increasing his conditioning workload to maintain pace over 5 rounds. His team is building a game plan to wear Chimaev down, extend the fight, and test his gas tank. Mentally and physically, Du Plessis is preparing for a war, knowing this could be the defining moment of his career.
And yeah, we combined our strength with muscle endurance, also with a little bit of cardio work. Always end off or do some cardio intervals in between rounds of strength.
Furthermore, Jason Mayhem Miller weighed in on the matchup, noting that Dricus Du Plessis faces a serious challenge against an opponent as erratic and dangerous as Khamzat Chimaev. He highlighted the difficulty of preparing for someone who blends powerful striking with top-tier grappling, making Chimaev a puzzle few can solve. Miller questioned whether Du Plessis would be able to fend off takedown attempts, land meaningful shots while advancing, and hold up under relentless pressure. Ultimately, he suggested the bout might hinge on who has the deeper gas tank and can maintain their pace late into the fight.
Khamzat, this kind of thing is, all right, so now do you counter wrestle? Do you find your striking exchanges working when you push the guy backwards? And can you do that without overshooting and getting taken down? Do you want to get taken down and make a scramble and this? No, probably not. Du Plessis has work cut out for him. Like, he has to kind of figure this enigma out of a dude who can kickbox pretty good with this European style kickboxing and also really high level grappling. I don't know. I think it'll come down to who's in the best shape, who's the best conditioned. That's really the end of that. Happy birthday, August 16th. We're going to see that one.
Miller leaned slightly toward Chimaev, citing the Dagestani's lifelong immersion in wrestling as a major advantage. He noted that Chimaev's grappling efficiency and calm demeanor allow him to conserve energy even during intense exchanges. Although he acknowledged Du Plessis' strength, he pointed out that his power seems more muscle-dependent than naturally fluid, which could become a liability in a drawn-out, grueling battle. In Miller's view, Chimaev holds a slight upper hand due to his foundation in wrestling and energy management.
Chimaev, you know, because he has like this special ingrained, and I say this because you start the kids young and they just get a little extra something, you know, there's a little bit of extra feel. There's another 10,000 hours put on top of their athleticism because they've been doing this for so long, grappling especially. And Du Plessis is an excellent grappler, but what it comes down to is being able to relax during those grappling exchanges and not use that much energy. His body is big, but he's like a bigger human being, not necessarily just a big muscle-bound guy like Du Plessis. Like Du Plessis has the frame of a lighter man, but has put on muscle to compete at the higher weight class. Yeah, Chimaev might have an edge, might be an upset there.
John Anik called the upcoming clash between Dricus Du Plessis and Khamzat Chimaev the premier matchup in MMA right now, referring to it as the top fight in the sport. He praised the level of anticipation and described the surrounding buildup as pure chaos in the best way. Anek credited the UFC with perfect matchmaking and said fans are in for an unforgettable showdown when the action goes down in Chicago this August.
Just another quick one on a big fight as well coming up with Dricus Du Plessis and Khamzat Chimaev. Obviously that's a big one. How do you break that one down?
That's the best fight we can make. Khamzat Chimaev finally in a championship setting. That is the #1 fight in the sport. Total chaos. I'm trying to not cuss here. I can't imagine a better matchup when they lock the door behind those guys. It's bulletproof matchmaking, and we'll see you guys mid-August in Chicago.
Jamahal Hill shared that he's siding with Du Plessis in this fight, partly because the South African has consistently surprised him in the past. Hill credited Du Plessis with having outstanding endurance, serious physicality, and awkward, unpredictable striking that might throw Chimaev off his rhythm. He mentioned that Chimaev has shown signs of slowing down in longer fights, which could open up opportunities for Du Plessis as the bout progresses. However, Hill cautioned against overlooking Chimaev altogether, noting that his natural grappling instincts are always a major factor.
I probably favor DDP in that one, just for the simple fact of I've doubted this dude so many times now, and he's shut me up bad every time. It may look like he's like fatiguing or he's like slowing down, but he's really not. I think he's got the better cardio. His physical strength, I believe, can pose a problem for anybody in that division. We've seen Khamzat fade over the course of rounds before. I just believe Dricus has a really awkward way of throwing strikes that's not easy to time, get a read on. So I believe he will land. So I probably lean more towards DDP, but you can't count a guy like Khamzat out. I believe he's one of the best natural pure grapplers. He does have the ability to throw some hands too. So it's interesting.
Michael Venom Page praised Khamzat Chimaev's exceptional skills and commanding presence, calling him a superstar. He contrasted this with Dricus Du Plessis, who, despite a less polished style, consistently wins, which Page finds fascinating.
DDP and Khamzat, who do you reckon is going to win in that?
Man,
That one there.
I would love to.
You trained with Khamzat as well?
Yeah, and you know what? I always say, seeing somebody as special in person when they're training, it's a beautiful thing to watch, and it just inspires me more because he's exceptional in a completely different area to me.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
I'm very good in my area.
As well when you were training with
100%, and you know, there's certain people that demand the room.
Yeah.
He walks in and he demands the room. You know, everybody, he's just, you can tell he's a superstar.
Yeah.
But he's so good in his area, and just watching it, I was just like, yeah, it's unbelievable. I appreciate it. Like I said, it inspires me to go and, you know, push myself more.
Yeah.
But saying that in terms of coming to the fight, DDP is somebody that is the complete opposite. I don't get how he keeps winning. As in, he's not a person I look at and think, oh man, super talented.
Page highlighted Du Plessis' strong will and mental toughness as key to his success, making the fight hard to predict. While he normally favors Chimaev, he sees this as a clash between two very different but equally dangerous fighters.
And obviously there's something about him because he keeps winning. And sometimes even that is an art, knowing how to win.
Do you reckon it's psychological that he's got
There's
tremendous will?
He has to be well trained, obviously, and he does do things, but he just seems messy to me. But at the same time, you have to give him his flowers. You have to give him his respect because he's still winning. And this is what, that every time I put my money against him, shall I say,
Yeah.
he always comes up on top. So it's just, I would normally say Khamzat would win this fight.
Yeah.
But it's just hard to say, man. He's just a person that this is very, very exceptional fight.
Robert Whittaker acknowledged the power and effectiveness of Chimaev's takedowns, calling them difficult to counter, but gave credit to Du Plessis for his resilience and toughness. He described Du Plessis as someone who's hard to finish and fully capable of surviving early pressure. In Whittaker's opinion, if anyone has the grit to endure Chimaev's early onslaught and rally back, it's Du Plessis. He believes the middleweight champion's durability might be a decisive factor that allows him to swing the momentum in his favor and potentially secure a victory.
Khamzat and DDP, the next fight. Who do you think is going to walk away as the champion?
I can't see anyone really stopping Chimaev's takedowns. Like, his takedowns are so hard to stop. It's super high level. Can DDP drag it into those later rounds? Can it get through the first grappling exchanges and then start to capitalize on his just like persistence, like doggedness to go away? Honestly, if Chimaev can't get DDP out of there, DDP wins. DDP wins almost every fight. You can't get rid of him, right? Because he's like mold, dude.
Luke Rockhold praised Khamzat Chimaev's wrestling, ground skills, and relentless pressure, but noted Chimaev tends to fade in later rounds, as seen against Usman and Gilbert Burns. He emphasized that Dricus Du Plessis, who he's trained with extensively, is tough to wear down and warned the fight could become very challenging for Chimaev if it isn't finished early.
Khamzat is very good at wrestling. He's very good on the ground. He's very good at pressure. The longevity of the fight, it hasn't been his best approach. So you see with Usman, you see with Gilbert, tough test. I've put a lot of rounds in with DDP, and he don't go away. So unless he gets to him early, it's gonna be tough late.
Rockhold explained that Du Plessis thrives in later rounds by enduring pressure and pushing forward, a hallmark of true champions. This resilience is a key reason why Du Plessis currently holds the top spot in the division.
So if he doesn't put him away early, it's a DDP type of fight.
I think that's the way the DDP goes. You know, he manages to get through, weathers the storms, and he keeps going. That's what champions do, and that's why DDP's on top.
Alexander Gustafsson gave high marks to Chimaev's wrestling and ground control, stating they give him a significant edge heading into the fight. Although he recognized that Du Plessis may have a physical size advantage, Gustafsson believes Chimaev's raw power is more than enough to compensate. He pointed to the disparity in grappling experience and technique as the deciding factor, suggesting that Chimaev's control and takedown ability could be too much for Du Plessis to overcome.
You're like 2-3 weight classes above him. How strong is he? Because I've seen like he's a good training partner for you.
Yeah, no, he's very natural, strong, you know, and he has very strong genes, and he just comes with raw power, you know. All his power just comes from nature, you know.
Just natural.
Right? Natural, yeah. So guys, to get the full All-Stars experience,
Michael Bisping observed that Khamzat Chimaev appears to be in excellent shape with improved cardio. He praised Dricus Du Plessis for his fearless approach, especially his willingness to engage Chimaev on the ground. Bisping highlighted Du Plessis' strong grappling, knockout power, and enhanced stamina following nose surgery. Bisping described the fight as intense, fueled by the rivalry between the two fighters. He also raised questions about whether Chimaev can meet expectations and perform at his best in his first title shot.
Well, we've seen him on social media, if you follow the same accounts, just killing himself in training, doing a tremendous amount of cardio work. So I think he's going to come in with a better gas tank. However, Dricus Du Plessis, I mean, you cannot doubt this guy. And he said he wants to fight Khamzat on the ground. He said everyone else tries to avoid going to the ground with him. He said, I want to fight the best version of him. I want to test my skills against his on the ground. He's not intimidated. There's videos of Dricus Du Plessis online taking on an entire Gracie Barra black belt team and submitting them all one by one. He's big. big, he's strong, he can wrestle, he's got great judo, he's got knockout power, he's had a nose job, so he's got a great gas tank now as well. You know, this is and they hate each other. They absolutely hate each other. And Boris, the wolf, the bad guy, coming in has talked such a good game, and he's such a good villain. He finally gets the shot at the belt. You know, can he do it? Can he pull it off? Can he live up to all the hype?
Azamat Bakoev commented that many fans continue to overlook Du Plessis despite his current championship status. He acknowledged Chimaev's elite skills and his ability to beat top-tier fighters, but emphasized that this is one of the most closely matched title fights in recent memory. While Bakoev recognized the strengths of both men, he leaned just slightly toward Chimaev, citing the matchup as too competitive to call with confidence, yet tipping the scale in Chimaev's favor by a narrow margin.
Everybody underestimate the champion Dricus Du Plessis, but I think it's going to be not easy fight for Khamzat Chimaev. But Khamzat Chimaev also strong. He destroyed a lot of fighters, and but I still think it's going to be close fight, and who knows who's gonna win? Maybe 55%. So it's Chimaev. Like that.
Gilbert Burns, a frequent training partner of Dricus Du Plessis, praised him as tough, strong, and difficult to finish. He anticipates Khamzat Chimaev will come out aggressively, but believes Dricus can weather the early pressure and remain composed throughout the fight. Burns highlighted Dricus's power and excellent cardio, expressing confidence that Du Plessis will outlast Chimaev and successfully defend his title.
I train with Dricus a lot. Dricus is actually a very, very good fighter. Crazy cardio, very physically strong. He's a very hard fight to predict, you know. I think Chimaev is going to start very strong like he always do. I do believe Dricus can kind of slow him down, don't get submitted, relax a little bit. But I do believe Dricus, if he get past that first round, I think that's the hardest part. What I think he will do, I think he's gonna pass, and then he's gonna be a nightmare for Chimaev. I think Dricus is a monster, hits very hard, doesn't break, good gas tank. I do believe Dricus is gonna beat Chimaev and remain the champion.
Tim Welch highlighted Chimaev's evolution as a fighter, particularly in terms of mental composure and control when facing top-level competition. He expressed interest in seeing Chimaev face someone like Sean Strickland in the future, especially due to Strickland's defensive acumen. As for Du Plessis, Welch noted that his unpredictable style can disrupt opponents mentally. He added that if Du Plessis succeeds in getting into Chimaev's head, the fight could become chaotic and emotionally charged, which might shift the dynamics unexpectedly.
I would love to see Khamzat versus Strickland too. Khamzat said in training, I submitted him multiple times. In a fight, it's a little different. And Strickland, you've seen Strickland get dumped before. He is an expert at getting up. He's really good wrestling, really good jiu-jitsu. But just like you said, can you survive the first 3 minutes with that dude? Gnarly.
That's fire.
I miss the crazy Khamzat, but now that he's getting into these top 5 elite guys, it's probably better that he's not crazy Khamzat.
Dude, that looked like crazy Khamzat to me.
All week being respectful of the press conferences, respectful of everything.
Yeah.
It was a lot different than he used to be.
DDP has a way of poking at opponents too, though, so you might be able to pull that crazy Khamzat back out of him.
I'd love to see DDP beat him.
Tito Ortiz predicted Khamzat Chimaev would overwhelm Dricus Du Plessis with relentless pressure and superior wrestling, expecting Chimaev to control the fight through takedowns and finish it within 3 to 4 rounds. While respecting Du Plessis, Ortiz believes he faces a tough challenge due to Chimaev's aggressive style and ability to shoot from long range.
How do you predict that fight plays out?
People are gonna see how vicious Chimaev truly is. I respect the guy. He's a monster. Du Plessis, the champ, I think he's in him for a rude awakening because he's going to realize that his wrestling is not as good as Chimaev's truly is. And it was heartbreaking for me in that middleweight division because when Bo Nichols got picked apart his last fight.
Ortiz also criticized Bo Nickel for not fully utilizing his wrestling, highlighting Chimaev's effective blend of striking and grappling. He noted that Rampage Jackson, who trained with Chimaev, called him the real deal and praised Chimaev's sharpness after training at Jackson's gym in California.
I was like, man, why didn't you wrestle? You're one of the best guys in the world in wrestling. Use your wrestling. And that's what all the Russians do. They use their wrestling to set up punches. They use their punches to set up the wrestling. And then they take people down and they choke them because they're really good at it. I think Chimaev, I would give it maybe 4 rounds, 3 to 4 rounds. I think Chimaev just overwhelms him too much. I think that's my opinion. Once again, I watch him. I watch Chimaev. I just see how tough he is, and I know he had training camp actually at Jackson clothing company or Jackson in California, correct? And was it
Bear and Rampage is also there.
Yep. And so I know he's doing really well. I talked to Rampage. Rampage goes, no, he's the real deal, Tito. I go, I see him. I watch his fights and how vicious. I mean, he can shoot a double leg from half the cage and still take a guy down. He's just very vicious.
Ilia Topuria expressed admiration for both Chimaev and Du Plessis, underscoring their mutual respect and the quality of their fighting styles. He mentioned their personal friendship and acknowledged that both have earned their positions at the top. Topuria voiced support for Chimaev getting a title shot and praised his aggressive finish-first mindset. Above all, he shared his excitement as a fan, saying this is one of the most compelling matchups in the division and one he's genuinely looking forward to watching.
He's the man. He's a savage. He calls him his shots. He finishes his opponents. When he goes inside the octagon, you know that that guy goes for the finish. He's not looking for the decision. That's why I respect Khamzat. He's a fucking beast. So he deserves to fight for the title as soon as possible. We're gonna have an amazing fight because I love Dricus Du Plessis. He's a great human being. I have a great relationship with him. I have a great relationship with Khamzat also. But as a fan of mixed martial arts, it's gonna be a very exciting fight. I hope the best man wins, and I wish best of the luck to both of them.
Shara Magomedov expressed strong confidence in Dricus Du Plessis, highlighting his excellent physical condition and warning that he shouldn't be underestimated. He predicted that Du Plessis would put on a memorable performance and even called for a moment of silence to recognize the significant impact Du Plessis is expected to make in the fight.
As I said before, Dricus is in very good, strong hands in this fight, and we will make sure to remember his name with 2 seconds of silence afterwards.
Bo Nickal highlighted how dominant grappling continues to play a critical role in modern MMA, using Khamzat Chimaev as a standout example of how high-level wrestling can dictate the pace and direction of top-tier fights. He also referenced Islam Makhachev and Merab Dvalishvili as part of a growing group of fighters who are reshaping the sport through relentless pressure and elite control on the ground.
Just based on the styles, I just think that the grappling style, I might be biased. I'm definitely biased, but I think the grappling style is so hard to beat, and it's so hard to defend against. And I guess if you look at it from a analytical point of view, you have so many. It's really become the dominant force in the sport. You got Merab, you got Islam, you got Bilal, you got Khamzat. You even have, you can even look at Topuria. Obviously, people know he's more of a boxing style, and he does a lot more striking. But his background is wrestling. He did that before anything else. And so, it's really wrestlers that are dominating, grapplers that are dominating the sport right now. And so, I think that I would give the edge to Khamzat.
Nickel went on to note that while grappling is a major advantage, experience in the later rounds shouldn't be overlooked. He acknowledged that Dricus Du Plessis has shown he can stay composed and effective deep into championship rounds. If the fight stretches the distance, Nickel believes Du Plessis' ability to perform under fatigue could become a key factor.
But we still have yet to see Khamzat ever fight a 4th and a 5th round. We've seen that from DDP, and so that's where he would have the advantage. If it goes deep, 4th and 5th round, I think that DDP might be able to pull it out. But all in all, I think the grappling style is definitely an overwhelming style to try to deal with.
That's it for today's video. So what are your thoughts on this? Share your thoughts in the comments section and make sure to subscribe and like if you enjoyed the video.